going live. Like we could do shit like this. You know, because it's already is what it is. Shit though, man.
But this song right here,
can you hear that fan?
a little bit. I think I can hear it. I hear a little, but I don't know if it's your fan or just like the white noise. Here, turn it off. I can't really hear it. It's just you hear the white noise in the back.
It's off right now though. It's off right now.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it's off, I can't. It's not different. It's not different.
No, I'm saying, can you hear this though?
No.
It's because, bro, it get hot as fuck in this garage, man.
Yeah, you can use your fan, bro. You can't hear your fan. This fan is real quiet.
And I got that bitch sitting literally right here. So you can't hear that at all?
Nah, bro. It's because there's already white noise and you already hear that. But even with that, we're gonna, since we're doing it like this, we should just throw that audio under it. Maybe you can send me this one and I'll fuck with this one. See how you fuck with how I do it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, though. I don't. You know,
bro, my beard is getting big, nigga. My
what
beard
we talking about, motherfucking? Bro, fuck your beard, bitch. What we talking about, motherfucking?
My beard's getting longer than yours, bro.
Your shit ain't longer than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Your shit ain't longer than mine.
Bro, look at that. Look at, nigga.
Bro, look at my shit.
Yeah, but I cut my shit. You cheating.
You cheating. Yeah, but everybody's shit hit a plateau at some point. Motherfucking,
my shit's already there.
I seen some shit today on talking about, somebody was talking about Kamala Harris, bro, and was talking about motherfucking how we can keep going against like status quo or some shit like that, right? And we gonna get like left in hell or some shit like that, trying to play devil's advocate. When I seen that shit, bro, when I seen that shit, I'm like, niggas just support anything just because it's black. They don't give a fuck how many black people she done hurt, how many black families she done tore apart. No matter what the fuck happened, right? As long as she black, that's the only thing that fucking matters, right? Like, niggas be goofy, bro.
The problem is everybody wants to think Trump is so racist, and I'll say he racist and shit. To an extent, but I don't think he has he don't have that racism where Trump. I think Trump he sees race, but I don't think he sees race in like a negative aspect. Meaning he don't want to hurt black people. This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. I don't think he would want to hurt black people. I don't think that he would hang out with black people, but I think Joe Biden would want to hurt black people, and it's even on paper. I think they both don't favor black people because they weren't raised with black people. But at the end of the day, I feel like Trump would do more for black people because Joe Biden just don't give a fuck about black people.
I don't. But I don't think Trump give a fuck about black people either. If we really being honest, like I don't.
But Trump is narcissistic enough to care about black people because he cares about himself and he knows how he treats the black people will be reflected on himself. So the narcissism of Trump makes him care about black people. Joe Biden just too old.
I give you that point there. I give you the point that Trump is for sure the true definition of what you would call
a narcissist.
He is so self-centered and he so I agree with that point. By the way, this Unpopular Opinion podcast, Grand Hefe, down on the Don. Y'all already know the vibes, man. But make sure y'all follow all the socials: Instagram, IG, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play. All Real Unpopular Opinion podcast. IG at Unpopular Opinion _podcast. It's IG Unpopular Opinion _podcast. But I agree with the point that he is so narcissistic that he won't necessarily try to do anything malicious just so he can get the vote, because we sit on here all the time and we talk about how Trump always like to pat himself on the back for every single accomplishment. I seen a tweet today talking about how he did so much for women. I'm probably the best president that done did the most for women. I'm the president that probably done the
Exactly.
most for women.
And
And
that's
with
what
the
I'm
100
saying.
year voting rights of women being able to vote 100 years now. So I agree with that point, but
But
I
this
don't
is
agree with the
this is
fact that
this is what this is, and this is. I'll even go further with that. I feel like that's why he is portrayed as racism, because his narcissism makes him want to be cool with everybody in a sense. So even them white racist people at first, when they endorsed him and he didn't realize how racist they was, he did accept their endorsement way back when he was first becoming president. But it all goes back to his narcissism. He wants to be the star character of the world. But the thing about Joe Biden, I feel like he goes out of his way to hurt black people, telling a
and
black person they shouldn't be able to take a
what make you
bus,
say that
that
though?
because telling a black person, black kids, that they can't take a bus to go to school, if that's their only way to go to school, what does that cost them not to be able to go to school? Now then, on his tag team, Harris is over here trying to make it illegal for, I mean, be able to throw parents away if their kids can't go to school. Now think, if you merge their thoughts processes together, that means you're throwing parents in jail who can't afford to bring their kids to school. Now it's, you have to think about these things, and even though those are different in years, you can say, okay, well, if this person believes that, they should always believe that if they are true to themselves. I.e., just like Harris when she was mad as fuck about how racist Biden was, but now all of a sudden they tag teaming and shit to try to take on the world. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the part that kills me. She gets up there in her debate and she gets on her high horse about how, you know, he made that rule. I mean, he pushed that into effect, and how she was that black girl who couldn't ride the bus and all of this other stuff. And my thing is, you're still that black girl right now. So
uh-huh.
what? How did your views change? How did your views change on him? He's still the same person. They asked him about the crime bill as well, the crime bill of 1994. They asked him about that. Do he regret that? He said no. So he's still the same person. Kamala
Yeah.
Harris is still the same woman. What I don't like is, let's just support anything black. That's what I don't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna support you if you for your people, right? If you for your people, then I'm gonna support you. But see, Kamala Harris, she only finds it suitable, she only finds it convenient to be black when she needs black votes, and I
Yep.
find that convenient. Is so all these people on, and I seen Charlemagne the God talking about, the current administration is going to try to kill her, so let's stop trying to tear her down and this and that and blah blah blah. And listen, man, this is what I say to all of that crap, bro.
Nah,
I
I
treat people the
deny it.
way that
I
they
deny
treat
that.
me, and you she hasn't done nothing for her own people. She has done nothing for her own people. Zero. She's done zero for her own people other than throw them in jail for minor offenses, for minor drug charges. Throw people in jail, ounce of weed, 35 years, and all of this other stuff. Delaying evidence until after people has already been killed. Like, what has she done to
Yeah,
deserve?
people don't even know that it's on paper that she was trying to hide what the police were doing when the police were killing people out there in the streets. It's on paper, and motherfuckers don't even give a fuck about that. There's so many things that are on paper that show that she ain't for us. She ain't for us. Everybody's out here walking for Black Lives Matter for these unjust police killings, but you're gonna vote for Harris? Come on now, bro.
by the way, by the way, by the way, what happened to all the protesting?
Yeah,
Did we get
for
justice or
real.
something already?
For real, did Black Lives stop
Just
mattering because now we got the vice president black or some shit? Come on now, bro. This shit's a game. And the thing is, I feel like Harris is just the second coming of Obama. And when I say that, Obama ain't do shit for us either. He just gave us hope that we could get there. He ain't do nothing else. And anybody can argue that. We still have that argument open. Anybody who could say what he did, still comment, say something, because I'm still waiting for it. But that's all she's going to do. She's only going to implement things that further the war on crime. And And the problem with the war on crime is it's only a war in the black communities. There's no war on crime with this pedophilia that's been going on for years. The only reason shit's happening about that shit, the only reason shit's happening for that now is because too many people are awake. Too many people saying, bro, we can see it. It's in front of our face. You're going to allow this? And they was crazy. Even Jeffrey Epstein, he was caught before. Like, what was it? Like 3 or 4 years ago with the same type of shit. Why the fuck was he cool to go be end up doing the same thing again? And motherfuckers is lost. They don't realize the only war on crime is happening in the black community. And when people say they have a war on crime and these predators, and it's all against black people. And
well, the war on crime
has
always been against us.
Exactly, but the problem with people too is they don't think Biden is racist for calling black people predators or whatever he called them, but Hillary is. Both them motherfuckers should be thrown in the dirt. Like, we're lost. The Democratic Party is not for black people. I
want to touch on something that you just said, bro, about how about the war on crime, and it's crazy because it's one of them things like you always hear about black on black crime. Why don't you ever hear about white on white crime? I've never heard nobody say white on white crime.
And it's funny you said. I was just thinking about that today. And I see hella crazy white people do crazy shit in front of me, and you don't hear about it on the news ever.
No, you don't hear about them acting like animals or acting like savages and doing all this. You like I don't get it. Like it's always black on black, right? Anytime you try to bring anytime you try to bring any light to any situation of any atrocities or any setbacks and shortcomings of our community caused by other people, the first thing they always say, like I seen one the other day, well, what about all the black on black crime that's going on in Chicago and all of this? Does it only matter? And it's like, how many times do we have to go through this? How many times do we have to say, for me, now I'm one of them people that will say, damn, we gotta stop killing each other, bro. Like this shit is getting out of hand. Like motherfuckers is dying like crazy, at the hands of other black people, right? But this is what I have to also put into perspective. And this is what I also tell people all the time. It ain't about the crime itself. It ain't about who's committing the crime. The problem is when black on black crime happens, I can guarantee you, unless they can't catch whoever it is, 90% of the time, they going to jail. They going to jail, bro. Or not just jail, they going to prison for a long time, bro. They ain't getting out for a long time. The difference is between that and when a cop kills a black person, they don't go to jail. It takes rioting, it takes protesting, it takes marching in the street.
And then they get fired.
Burning people's shit down just for them to get fired, or just for them to get not even fired, bro. They get whatever it's called, where they can still get their pension. Like, they get the ability to resign. That's what it is. They get to resign. They don't get fired, because if they get fired, they lose their pension, right? So they allow them to resign after killing an unarmed person, right? That's cool, right? But instead of talking about that, what about black on black crime? What about black on black crime? What is that you want to talk about?
Because that's one thing for us in our community, and that's the problem that people don't understand outside of our community. It's just like being in a family. If you're in somebody's family, you can talk about family issues. I feel like if we're in our community and we're recognizing the issues we have with our black on black crime, that's one thing. But for a white person to come and tell us about our family's problems, that's different. And that's where a lot of people are getting lost. And a lot of people aren't also understanding, when you look at the numbers, a lot of this shit happens to white people too. But why the fuck don't we see it? What the fuck is going on to where they're only showing negative things about black people whenever bad things happen to black people? Because they want this negative narrative to be that us black people are bad, and things tend to happen that are bad around us because we're bad people. And until we see that, we ain't gonna get outside of it. Because even on the retrospect, yeah, the percentage is pretty big in our community. but there's a whole bunch of things that go into it that the percentages can't even touch on, and we just need to do better, man. And
We
until we
need to do
realize
better as
that,
a whole. We definitely do better as a whole. I just don't like them people that always try to mention black on black crime, but they won't say white on white crime, or they won't say Asian on
yeah,
Asian crime, or they won't say no other. It's only black on black crime. Like that's the only phrase that's relevant, or that's the only phrase that exists is black on black crime, as if black people are the only people killing their own people. Like no other race of people is killing each other. Just us, black on black crime. Because that's the first thing everybody always point to. Black on black crime. What about black on black crime? What about fucking black on black crime? Like I'm willing to have that discussion with anybody. What about black on black crime? What is it that you want to talk about? Because to me, honestly, bro, there's really nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about because justice gets served, which is the only thing that we always preach, right? Justice. That's the only thing that we talk about. Justice. So when Ray killed Tukey, guess what happened? Ray take his ass to prison when they find his ass. In a discussion.
that is
When
true.
officer fucking when officer fucking Williams killed motherfucking little little Pookie for just because he don't go to jail. He don't get arrested. But that's cool, right? That's all right. Because what about black on black crime? That's their go-to every single time. Oh, but what about black on black crime? You ain't saying nothing about this. What about black on black crime? Just like you ain't saying nothing about police killing black people. Right? You ain't saying nothing about police killing black people. So what is it that you want to talk about black on black crime for? And that just brings us back full circle about Kamala Harris and her running mate, or I should say Joe Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris. These black people that feel, oh, Trump is so bad, which he is. I don't think he's good for our people. Period. His I've always said his politics and him being a person is totally different. But I don't feel that neither one is for us. I don't. But like I tell people all the time, I'd rather know what you about rather than you playing like you my friend and you really not. And that's what I
And
get when I talk about Biden and Kamala Harris. Biden is one of the people that he ain't really for us, but I'm gonna play like I am, just so I can play on your, just so I can tug on your little strings, just so I can get that vote. Just as he mentioned before, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. Like, who are you to say whether or not we're black enough? Just because we don't vote for you, and then you go get Kamala Harris because you think that's supposed to help get the
yeah,
black vote. And I think he got more of an outrage than he got. Um, I guess,
anything else?
yeah, bro. Like I think this for sure backfired on him, and I just think we're in trouble for the next fucking few years, bro. I think
No,
we're in
for
trouble for
real.
the next few years.
I think we're
I
gonna
I
continue to
mean,
be in this position now because now nobody is doing anything to change it. Think everyone was so mad that Trump got into office, but then look at who we got next. Like it, who came to be his verses, as we would say it now. Like we in some deep shit,
we most
and the
definitely
shit's
we most
deep.
definitely some deep shit, bro. Deep shit, horse cow shit, motherfucking ankle high, calf high. We are in a. It's gonna be bad, bro. These next motherfuckers thought these last 4 years or these last 3 years, 3.5 years was worth something, bro. And let's be real, it really wasn't that bad. We just have to deal with a narcissist who always lying, who always cutting
Yeah,
people
I
off,
think he
who
did it,
always wanting to get his way, an entitled
bro.
crybaby is really what we dealt with because the policies that he put into place or tried to put into place or and all this other stuff is so different. People talk about all the people at the border, all the kids at the border. Do we forget what Obama did? He's the one that started this. I could be wrong, but wasn't Obama the one that started putting kids in cages? I'm pretty sure he was the one.
But
Matter of
because he was
fact,
black,
matter of
he
fact,
wasn't
that's a
racist.
rhetorical question because I know the answer to that. He was the one
Mm.
that did this. I was just trying to be modest for everybody on camera. He was the one that did this. But people will get mad at Trump and say, "Oh, look what he doing to all these kids at the border."
Yeah,
And it's
he's
like,
just
why didn't
racist.
yeah, why didn't you say that when Obama was in office? Because you liked Obama. So we're willing to look past things of people that we like. It doesn't matter what you did, as long as I like you, we can get past whatever it is that
You
you
know,
did.
you know who was a good reflection on how media is toward Trump. I hate to say this because everyone wants to say he's real racist, but Raven Simone, I don't know if you remember the comment she made, like when she said Trump was racist. She's like, what did she say? All right, Trump, how are you gonna be racist and send all the Mexicans back? You need somebody to do your lawn. But what I got from that is the motherfuckers who's really saying he's really racist are racist themselves, and they're portraying that onto him because it's crazy, bro. Because if you really get into the shit he said, the media has pushed a lot of shit from their racist bigotry and pushed it through that filter and gave us what Trump is saying. I'm not gonna say, and I will hold on to this forever, that he's never said some off the wall shit. Like, believe me when I say he says some off the wall shit. That's kind of what makes him entertaining, though. But some of this shit they'll blow straight out
So
the
you
water.
saying
Like he'll
so you saying he's
like he,
never so you saying he's never said anything off the wall. You saying that he's never said anything that was racist?
I'll say he no it, and then that's when the one thing I'll stand on that he has done racist that shows that he is racist, and you cannot deny this is the thing he did with the apartment complex he used to own and shit. And then they got
Where
sued
he
for not
wasn't
wanting to.
renting places out to black people, right, or minorities.
Yeah,
Uh
exactly,
huh.
exactly. So right there, that shows in itself. Okay, there's some questionable shit, but
He said
I'll
some
say
questionable shit. He
yeah,
said
but
some
I mean
questionable shit that if no, he most definitely said some questionable shit, bro. Like
I don't
he most
know,
definitely
bro.
said some. Yeah, bro. He most definitely said it. Like I mean, I guess it
Let's
all
think about
depends
it.
on. Go ahead.
But let's think about something he said that's really bad. Because the problem with it is a lot of people they'll cut a video and not put the rest of it. Just like when he was talking about uh the Mexican people coming over here that are criminals. He was actually because even when I first heard them, I'm like, damn, this nigga racist because of the cut I got from it, the cut that the media played for me. But then when I went and listened to the whole thing, he was talking about MS-13 gangs and all these other gangs, and that's what he was reflecting. But the media only put the little part, and I can
Oh,
even imagine if they
he most definitely has talked about the MS-13 and all of the violent gangs that come over. But let's be real, MS-13 has nothing to do with Mexicans. That's not a Mexican gang. Those
no,
aren't
but that's
Mexicans.
what
But what I'm saying is
no
he said specific
Mexicans
stuff.
are.
He said specific things about Mexicans, just like he talked about
I don't
people
know,
from
bro.
Haiti, and just like he talked about he said this, bro. Like, and people try to omit this, but bro, like
No, no, no. Hey,
we
bro,
know
right,
we know things. Go ahead.
bro. What you should do real quick? Can you look up anything right now? Because
Yeah,
we can
what
always
happened?
edit. I can edit the video. Just look up real quick. A
We ain't finna edit
Mexican
this.
Trump. Well, put racist Trump comments, and then we could go straight off of there. Because I want to hear what it will show on there. Because I'm pretty sure whatever you say is going to be on there. I'm sure.
Nah, I'm just talking
It's
about just the stuff that he said, just like during his campaign when he was specifically talking about black people. When you get the scenario and what was going on at the time and the time that he said it when he was talking about um back in
no.
his
I'll say
day.
he
Now
talks about black
I just
people.
wanna say, bro, like I just wanna say
He,
we all know how old Trump is. So if we're talking about back in Trump day, like Trump day, what is Trump day? Trump day was when it was racist, bro. Like Trump day was when it was cool to be segregated. So when we know what happened back in that time, and then you got black people acting rowdy at his protest because they don't want him to be be president, and he says, "Oh well, back in my day, we would have took them behind the woodshed." We know what he's talking about. We know what he's referring to, and we know what type of people he's referring to because he say back in my day. Just like if I said, Dano, back in my day, we did this. Well, I can only talk about my time period. I can only talk about the things
No,
that
and
was going on in my time
I
period.
agree,
So when he
but
says back in my day, we know what used to happen back in Trump's day.
but this is where I would have to oppose to that way of thinking, because I would say, now when he's saying that, like let's say we were a little older. Let's say we came from those times. Now, say we're old, say we're 50, 60 years old, and we're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, well, back in my day, I kicked that motherfucker ass. That's kind of what he said right there. But I
No,
could
no, that's
see
not
how,
what he said though. That's not what he said
bro.
because everything has to be into context. Everything got to be taken into context of what was
What I'm
happening and who
saying,
was
bro.
doing what.
But what I'm saying,
Because they
I
wasn't
don't,
taking white people behind the woodshed, bro, and doing nothing to them. We know that. We know that for a fact. They wasn't
maybe
doing
that,
that
but
back in Trump day. So when you got black people acting rowdy at a Trump rally, especially during this time, this is before he got elected, when no black person liked him, when no black person would speak up really on his behalf. Um, and he talks about back in my day. See, you see them doing all of that. Back in my day, we would have took them behind the wood. Who is he talking about? What is he talking about? What is the
no,
context here?
I'll agree. I'll agree that that sounds bad. Like
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no, no. It
say,
don't sound bad. It
but
is
it's
bad
not
because we know what
definitive.
used to happen. We know what used to happen when black people
But do
spoke
you
out of
think
turn back in that day. We know what
I'd
happened, bro.
agree. I'd
So that's
agree,
what he's
bro.
talking about. Like everything
I'd
has to be
agree, but
taken into context. Everything got to
that's
be
not.
taken into context. We can't just isolate and say, "Oh, well, that's just a blanket statement." No, bro, because if it was a blanket statement,
Because
he
I
wouldn't have
say
said
that,
it. He
bro.
wouldn't have said it
This
like
is
that.
what I'm saying, bro. I say it all the time. Like I'll say it with so many things. Back in my day, bro. Back in my day. Back in my day. Back in my day.
No,
Hey,
but
back in the
but
day.
like I
Back in
said,
the day.
everything has to be taken into context. What are you saying back in my day too? Oh, back in my day, music used to be good. Like that ain't racist. So what I'm
But if
saying
I
is
was older, I could see
context.
myself being over 40 years old, bro. I would be like back in my day because I'm too old to be fighting. That's all I'm
Dano,
saying. So that's why I'm
if I
saying.
was at a rally, Dano, if I was at a rally, right? If I was at a rally and I lived in Trump's time, the time of segregation, the time when black people couldn't even speak out of turn, when black people couldn't even speak to a white person, or else they would be thrown in jail. If I say if and now we know this, but now we put this scenario where I'm up on stage talking, right? And a white person is speaking out of turn, speaking rowdy and loud and yelling. And I say, you know what? Back in my day, you know what we used to do? We used to what would I be talking about? Let's flip, let's reverse the roles. Let's say black people was the one that was owning slaves, right? And then I'm up here at the podium and I got a white person talking out of turn, yelling, doing all that. And oh, you know what we used to do back in my day? We'll take them on the back of the woodshed. Well, when you think about back in his day, this is what used to happen. So now we got a white person talking out of turn, acting all rowdy. Well, what am I talking about? Like it's not 2 + 2 = 5, bro. It's right here in front of your face. Like
But that's the problem, bro. This is what it all goes back to, bro. Like I totally understand that, because I'm gonna be honest. I totally understand where you're coming from. It's just sometimes I feel like I need, with Biden, a good example. There's definitive him saying mixed people, Negroes, the and then just like if you look back at Trump when he wasn't doing the thing, he said some things back then. But what I'm saying is, it's hard for me to say definitively on that one, just because of the fact, a good example for me, this was almost left me when I first got into the hood back in the day, and we were walking around, and I don't remember why, but I started drooling. I don't know if I was real high or something back in the day, but I said, "Damn, I got slob on my face." And bro, I got a violation, but it's because
of course you
I
did.
wasn't used to that.
Of
Of
course you
course.
did. Of
Now,
course you
that's
did.
what I'm saying. Now, on a bigger aspect, I look at this as Trump comes from a place where he doesn't have to think, oh, this sounds racist. This is kind of racist to say. He might have just took it as like, oh, I'll take him to the back and beat his ass, or took him outside.
But who
Some
was they
shit
doing
like
that
that.
to though? But who were they doing that
But
to? That's
every
what
bro,
I'm trying
but
to get. They
I
wasn't
feel
doing it
like,
to everybody. They
but I
wasn't
feel
doing
like
it to everybody. When we know
everybody might
history,
have been fighting behind
when
fucking
we know
whatever he said.
history, bro, when we
I know
know
what you're
history,
saying. Believe me, I'm just saying, bro.
just like me
Because
being in the military, bro. I went to Fort Benning, which is one of the toughest basic training sites that we got in the military. Fort Benning, right? One of the toughest. They used to always say, if we had a problem, we would go behind the woodshed and we would go fight, right? But you have to take into
exactly.
account. Hold on. You have to take into account the context of who is speaking and what is going on. Everything has to be put into context, or else it's just throwing out random stuff, right? So on the surface, yeah, it
But
may
that
sound
is,
like the same thing
but
Trump
let's
is
think,
saying.
bro.
On the surface,
Let's
it may
think,
sound
bro.
like the same. Go ahead.
Let's think about Trump. He throws out a lot of random shit. Let's be real. Let's be real. He throws out a lot of shit, bro. And
No,
he
matter
don't
of
be
fact,
thinking
he
about it.
does. You know what he does. I agree, but that don't excuse it.
But that's why I'm saying that's probably when he starts to realize, damn, I need to think about what the fuck I'm saying. I can't just throw out shit I've heard or maybe say casually thinking it's okay to be a little bit of racist. Because I hate to say it, different areas think different things are okay. Different areas think different things aren't really racist, even though they are. Like when I moved down here, when I first told you, I don't know if you remember, I told you a story about the first time I went to the bar. We almost got in a fight because some niggas like, hey, I don't know if you're gonna like
Hold,
it in here. There's no
hold that
chicken
thought.
wings.
Hold that thought. We're gonna be right back. My Pop Opinion Podcast. I'm Grand Hefe. That's
Part
Done in the
two.
Don.
Check
Part
that
two
part
coming
two
in
out.
effect. Y'all already know. Click that post notification bell on YouTube. Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast on YouTube. Click notification bell. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Run those numbers at Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast. IG at Unpopular Opinion _podcast. That's Unpopular Opinion _podcast on IG. We'll be right back.